detective thrill me.
Thanks for joining us. We'll round out the Mortal Kombat franchise tonight with Mortal Kombat 2 from this year. Let's get to what we've been watching before we get into it, Jared. I have got a very, very loose, very light resume. I'm still watching The Pit Season 2, which is excellent. Although, again, as I said, I feel like they've shoehorned a couple of, touch point kind of things into the season, and they don't feel as natural. But it's still really, really good. Still really, it's real prestige telly. And the other thing I watched is I watched the whole season of The Burrows.
What did we think of that one?
Yeah, I liked it. It was kind of Stranger Things with old people, or The Goonies almost with old people. It was good fun.
Okay.
I would recommend it. Some good actors. I would recommend it. If you're interested in Stranger Things, I think you'll get something out of this. It doesn't fully hold together, but it's worthwhile, I think. Eight episodes. Knock that over. And we knocked it over in a couple of nights. We just watched a couple of episodes every night, and it was done. And that was it.
Right.
So I've had a pretty light week.
Light schedule?
Light schedule.
Okay.
How's your schedule looking?
Reasonably light also. Some things that I wish I had watched, that's for sure. So I got a handful of cinema trips in this week. I saw Star Wars, Mandalorian and Grogu.
How was that? Because that's kind of getting up and down reviews, not great box office.
I mostly enjoyed it. It's like, a lot of people have described it as just like a long episode of the show. It's certainly got some highs and lows. There's parts of it you watch and you're like, this just looks like a setup for a ride at Disney or something like that.
Yeah.
There's some story elements that just feel sort of a little bland, but then there are some kind of high spots. There's some decent action in there. There's a really cool little sequence where Grogu sort of is on his own for a bit, which is kind of cool. And then there's an element of it that will probably in the long run be seen like the Ewoks. There's some people will be like, I really like this. Other people will be like that. Can't have it. It's characters that have been in there, but there's sort of a selection of them that kind of turn up. But I sort of expected that going in, so I did enjoy it for the most part.
Okay, question. What's happening with Star Wars? Where are we? Because it seems like we're getting really mixed quality. We've got a lot of stuff. Disney haven't held back. They've made plenty of it.
Well, they sort of are now. I think they're pulling back a little now after they kind of got criticised of saturating it. Actually, it was a really interesting point from a Ringer podcast that I was listening to where now that Dave Filoni's kind of running the show, they were talking about how he's kind of got a tendency to bring the stuff that he was doing in the animated into the live action, which may not be for the best at the moment because it hasn't really been working, some of those characters. Look, I don't know. I watched some of the stuff and I feel like it's got a little too far away from what we liked about stuff. I watch some of the stuff now and I'm like, it all just looks like we're doing things that we would do in the real world, but here's the Star Wars version of it. This one's got a little dude in a fucking food van and, there's some gambling sort of setups that are going on. I'm just sort of like, initially, originally it felt really fantastical and like something that we would never see. But now it's feeling like, here's a food van, but the guy's got 4 arms and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if that's what I'm watching Star Wars for. I want a bit more of a kind of a different take on things than that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I just maybe they should just dig. Maybe they just get away from the sort of stuff they've already done and just try to come up with a story that's completely removed. But just in that world, familiar elements, but we're not meeting characters or sons of characters or
Right.
stuff. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I think yeah.
Because basically, I think this one needs to make at least 500. They said.
Yeah. It was
And
a rather large.
they said it probably won't
budget.
make that.
No, and it's probably going to finish off under Solo. Although it started really poorly, but then they said over week 1 it kind of got some legs.
Yeah.
So who knows? Who knows where it's going to end up? But look, I enjoyed it. I got what I sort of expected.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, you fucking talk to me enough on this. You know, I can be critical of certain elements, but I also do genuinely go into these things just hoping that they're going to be good and trying not to just pick things out. Try to just sort of sit back and enjoy the experience. And for the most part, I got what I expected. I would say I got my money's worth with this one.
Okay.
Second cinema trip, Passenger.
Yeah, what was that like? Because it seems like another one of these ones where people are telling me it's the scariest movie they've ever fucking seen.
No,
and I'm
if
thinking,
anyone's telling you that, they've fucking not seen enough movies.
And I'm thinking...
Who told you that?
Well, you see it in all the...
Cut them off.
No, in all the, you know, like the... You know, when they grab a smattering of the good reviews, because it hasn't been reviewed greatly.
Nah.
And I'm like, what fucking movies are we watching?
I mean, number one, I haven't seen a single review that mentioned anything like that. And I don't think anyone should be.
Was it bad?
Look, it's not bad. I thought it was a reasonably effective little sort of setup in certain parts. The issue is, and I sort of said this to Matty. I saw it with our mate Matty, and I sort of said this to him at one part. I'm like, I'm kind of tired of things just being sort of possessed or an unseen entity. Like, we've got a lot of that. We've got
it's
a
like
lot
Lee
of that shit
Cronin's
going
The Mummy,
on.
Jared. That was your problem with that.
I mean, even stuff like Long Legs, and, you know, well, Nicolas Cage was certainly seen, but there was an element of that in Long Legs. When it works, it's good, but when it doesn't, it just feels like we've seen all this before. And my issue with this was I thought the setup was okay, and there's some things later in the movie where I'm like, it's actually not it's a kind of interesting explanation for why this is going on. And Andre Overdale's got a strong grasp of how to raise a little bit of tension.
Last Voyage of the Demeter
and Scary Stories, Tell in the Dark. I think it was him too, wasn't it?
Yeah, was he also the one that did the autopsy of Jane Doe or whatever it was?
Yep. So yeah, he's got a strong sense of how you craft some of these scenes. There's actually a couple of really good ones where it's you know, there's a particular one where the lead female gets into a car park and he's kind of, you know, a little bit other people around, a little bit is this thing around.
Yeah.
And it's super effective. Like he does a really good job with things, and he manages to do that with a few scenes through the movie where he just ratchets the tension a little. He's just a bit of a deft hand with crafting some scenes like that.
Yeah.
But the middle section, it's like the story's just taken a while to unfold, and it's a classic case of like, what are you doing to the lady in particular, because she's sort of suffering from things that are going on. I don't want to sort of give too much away, but there's a massive case of something proves to be sort of reasonably effective in holding it off. But we don't bother to fucking talk about that for 45 minutes to the only other person you are fucking...
Oh, fucking
like,
hell, Jared.
So I'm sort of sitting there going, oh, geez, you really... It just felt like a case of, oh, we know this is pretty thin, so we'll just hold it off until the last possible minute.
Right.
But the whole time I'm sitting there going, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You need to speak. You need to speak to each other. Like,
okay.
So yeah, it wasn't terrible. I didn't mind it. But it's middle tier, sort of, you know, middle of the road fare. You'll come out of it thinking, yeah, it was all right, and you'll probably never think about it again. So.
Okay.
I then rolled into Doom.
Doom, the
video game adaptation with early rock. The first thing I noticed, Adam, as I said to you, sort of late 20s, early 30 rock, looks noticeably smaller than 50-year-old Rock.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
well.
completely natural, isn't it? That's just the way it happens with aging.
From what I've heard, you get fucking twice as big. Well, I'm waiting for that to occur, Jared.
Yeah, you look like a lean athlete when you're in your 20s and 30s, and then when you're 50, you look like a bloody pair of lycra pants stuffed with fucking walnuts or something.
Look like you're at the enhanced caves.
Oh, man. God
Wasn't that a fucking cracker?
Yeah, absolute winner there. Yeah, it's ordinary. It's good.
It's shit.
Good to see
if
some
I
of it.
remember correctly.
Yeah, good to see some. Like the cast is very good.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Of course, back here, even back then, we see Richard Brake, we go, he's the weirdo. Cast him in that.
Yeah, he's the weirdest guy in it.
Role. But yeah, Karl Urban, The Rock. Yeah, The Rock's a little bit less polished. It's interesting to go back and watch him there. I think I said it to you, like he's got the acting range of a wrestler in this particular movie.
Yeah.
But
that's one step up from the acting range of Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, that's right. Hulk Hogan wishes he had that.
Yeah, but he was going to. Remember, he was going to devote his time to acting and fucking kill it.
He really could have cracked it in Hollywood.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, it's when the movie heats up a bit that The Rock actually does show a little bit of promise.
If I remember correctly, the only thing I remember enjoying in that was the sequence that actually looks like the game.
Yeah,
where it's all from first perspective.
Yes, which was pretty cool and lasts quite a while.
Yeah.
It's like over a number of minutes.
Yeah, it's quite cool.
But yeah, outside of that, it's
The Rock's a villain, isn't he?
Same old stuff. Oh, I don't want to go spoiling.
Well, he's I haven't seen it for a while, but I think he's more villainous.
He's 20-something years old, but
is he more? He is more.
Oh, I can't confirm, Adam.
You can't confirm it or not. You can confirm that the guy's raw as an actor, though. Is that what you can tell
that's
me?
not spoiling anything for anyone that hasn't seen it.
It might be. Fuck, Jared. So how
nobody's going to come steaming at me going, you didn't tell me he was... I thought I was expecting a polished performance.
Would you say he was?
He's not bad, but you look at it and you're like, well, he's not here because he's an actor. He's here because he's got a profile elsewhere.
Right. So you can tell the problems. You can kind of see that.
Yeah, he's actually. I think he's better down the stretch of the movie, and you sort of see a couple of hints of the Karasama that's carried the man to where he is now. So yeah. It was fun to go back to for that reason, but the fun dried up pretty quickly for most of the movie.
Yeah, I can understand that because I remember fucking hating it.
Yeah. Anaconda.
Oh, the new one?
The new one.
Oh.
I don't know what to say, really.
It's like shit, isn't it?
Well, you got two guys in Paul Rudd and Jack Black who I really like to watch.
Yeah.
I think they're both guys that have a bit of fun with it. Even this, you can see them having a bit of fun with it. And the premise to reboot the franchise is not something that wasn't doable. Like you could see portions of it where you think, yeah, I could go with this. But when you get there, it just kind of forgets the whole, all right, now we sort of have to turn it into an Anaconda sequel or movie for what feels like large stretches.
Yeah.
Like it's just kind of a bit muddled there, and we sort of throw a couple of storylines that don't need to be there.
It's not that funny.
It's not funny. It's not really funny at all.
Because
I got a few giggles here and there.
The trailer was just had me fucking scratching my head thinking,
most of it.
Why were you even thinking about this?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
I think I did get a couple of mild laughs out of a Brazilian actor there that they've got as fucking a snake wrangler who he's a bit weird.
There's also a couple of cameos, isn't there, that there's a bit of mileage in the cameo.
Not much mileage.
No?
Not much mileage.
Not much mileage in there either?
Yeah. Well,
Can't even drag a laugh out of that.
Well, both of them sort of seemed to, it's really one cameo, one longish cameo and one that's fucking like literally a few seconds. And they both sort of come late in the piece.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like we've already fucked this up. Yeah. You've already fucking handed me the bill and I've already fucking, complained about what I got. So I couldn't recommend checking it out. unless you've got a bit of a curiosity for it, which I can't imagine too many people have.
Well,
but then, Adam, you are speaking to the man who sought out the sequels that involved Hasselhoff and
correct. and
the
then at one point
Lake
mentioned
Placid.
that fucking part 2 is the best one of the lot.
I'll stick with that.
I'll stick with that too.
I actually think we need
fucking
to
Hunt for the Blood Orchid is best.
I reckon it was way better than the first one, to be honest. There is a bit of a reference to shit accents from Johnny Voight and things like that, but
that's funny.
That's where you didn't get enough mileage for me.
Correct.
So, yeah.
No, I'll have to check it out but I've heard it's shit.
It is. Yeah. Not great.
Is that all you had?
Yes, that was the bulk of it for me.
All right. Let's take a break. And here's the trailer for 2026's Mortal Kombat 2.
Get over here! On May 8th, the summer begins with combat.
It's called Mortal Kombat for a reason.
Damn. You don't have any powers? Just incredibly handsome. Oh, whip. It's showtime.
Johnny will definitely die.
Get tickets now. Mortal Kombat 2, rated R, May 8th.
Mortal Kombat 2 from 2026, directed by Simon McQuaid, produced by Simon McQuaid, Todd Garner, Toby Emmerich, E. Bennett Walsh, and James Wan. This time it's written by Jeremy Slater, who wrote Fantastic Four. So, gladly, this is better than that. Thank Christ. It stars...
What, the fucking Josh Trank one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Now I know why you're kicking it.
It stars Adeline Rudolph as Katana, Karl Urban as Johnny Cage, Jessica McNamee as Sonya Blade, Josh Lawson as Kano, and Joe Taslim as Bihan / Sub-Zero. The budget was $68 million, and the box office so far has been $120 million worldwide. It took 3 days to shoot the fight scene between Johnny Cage and Baraka. Along the way, the actors contributed their own ideas. Simon McQuaid said, Carl's very good at improv and added lines like, not the face, and I got a Saturn for best fight. All right, Jared. This is the best movie of the franchise. I gave this 4. I really enjoyed what they did. They basically, it's the same, it looks the same as the one from 2021. You wisely rehired all the same actors, which is nice for a continuity situation. But then you added in people like Karl Urban, who brought me a little bit of Karasama.
Mm-hmm.
And then a really nice performance from Katana, the actress playing Katana, Adeline Rudolph. And I really liked the way they kind of sort of structured it around the Katana and her father situation.
Mm-hmm.
The tongue is firmly in cheek. It's fucking humour in large portions that works. The fights and shit are all there. It's got a couple of little problems. Some of the villains' plans seem somewhat fucking ridiculous, and I continue to come back to, well, why didn't you just kill the guy?
Yeah.
What's happened? But overall, it puts the ass kicking at the fore and just entertains.
Yep.
So I gave it 4.
Yeah, I actually I did too. I gave it 4 stars. So watching it when we saw it together, given that I'd already seen it prior, I was kind of expecting to be more focused on the warts, I guess. It was actually the opposite. I think I might have enjoyed it even more the second time around. I just think the stuff that they get right is just pitched really, really well to people that were fans and had been asking for things for a few movies. I think that's one of the massive sort of likes around it is everyone involved clearly listened to the feedback on the first one and said, right, we've got to fix a few things.
Mm-hmm.
Arcanas, get rid of them.
Get rid of them.
Like, don't talk about them and that sort of thing.
Tournament, front and centre.
Tournament, front and centre. So in doing that, number one, it looks more like the game than any of the other ones by quite a margin. That involves like the way the characters look. That involves going to actual settings and stages from the games, even for just a couple of minutes, just putting someone, the way that they sort of took the people into the tournament and they would just drop them in a stage from the game.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I actually really loved it. As you said, it brings a couple of little issues around story-wise in particular. And because it's sort of super stuffed with the action and the characters, and you do suffer a little bit story-wise, but everything else just was exactly what I was hoping for. And even some of the goofier stuff, as you said, it's sort of tongue-in-cheek. They're giving you everything that you asked for in massive doses. So even some of the sort of cringier stuff or the goofier stuff still plays all right. Still works out okay. So, I went to a 4 as well.
Yeah. It looks and feels exactly like the previous movie. So coming out with the first big like for me is that. It still feels like that first movie.
Yeah.
It's been 5 years, but I feel like we haven't missed a beat or a step in what we were looking to showcase. So we wanted it to look a certain way and we wanted it to feel a certain way, and I think they delivered that again. The cast, recasting them all, the same people essentially. I think everyone's pretty much back.
Yeah.
Was a good call.
Yeah.
Good call, because now we've got continuity.
Yep.
And all the actors are nicely positioned in the role that they've got.
Yeah, and they got most of them pretty right last time, so you sort of like,
so
great.
we didn't need a lot to change. Didn't need much to change in terms of those characters and how they were.
No, and then the new additions like Katana and Johnny Cage and Jade
were handled pretty well.
They all were handled pretty well. Shao Kahn was handled pretty well. So, I think it continues to get a big like from the way that they cast it.
And look, Karl Urban, a little bit of star power. I told you. Bring in a bit of star power.
Karl Urban was great.
Great choice.
I think, initially I was kind of like, I can see the sort of Johnny Cage look there. I was slightly concerned about, okay, well, we're making him an older Johnny Cage from the get-go. But having watched it a couple of times now, that works out really well because it makes perfect sense for the current age to be looking at a character that was based around Jean-Claude Van Damme and going, that's a long time ago now. So when we roll into Johnny Cage sitting at the convention, fucking nobody talking to him and that sort of stuff, I'm like, that actually, it kind of connects.
It was a Caged Fury.
Caged Fury, Caged Fury.
There was another one there. Uncaged Fury, that's right.
My favourite was Old Mate when he's like, I used to love Citizen Cage.
Citizen Cage.
They're all names that have been bandied about the Mortal Kombat universe, but seeing them here was just like...
Citizen Cage, that's right.
Yeah.
We should remake Citizen Cage.
And sort of the introduction... they do a similar introduction to 95 where it's Johnny in a movie, but that's where you can first see the tongue firmly planted in cheek, like Rocky like a hurricane's fucking going.
Yeah,
Urban's flipping around, doing all sorts of weird shit. And then I thought that stuff worked very, very well and kind of sold me immediately on the older Johnny Cage.
Yes. And I was perfectly okay with that. And I think he wasn't the main guy either. They initially present Cage as the guy we're going to follow, but really it's actually about Katana. The whole thing's about Katana.
Yeah.
And predominantly the plot revolves around her situation. And that was a smart move. Because Johnny Cage was brought in as kind of aging has-been who suddenly gets fucking thrust into this bullshit that he didn't want to be in.
Yeah.
But then his arc is basically just to become Johnny fucking Cage.
Yeah,
That was it. That was
pretty much it.
So I kind of liked that because it was just a bit, it was silly. It was goofy.
When you look at it, it's the Cole Young story all over again.
Basically,
it's almost like it's very, very similar. It's you're washed up. Well, Cole was, he was fighting for fucking $200 on it, getting beaten, whatever. And then spends the entire movie trying to find that inner strength or have the belief in yourself that we believe in you, all this sort of shit. And then we find it it's sort of it's a very similar arc,
Yeah.
but a little more humour to it. I'm a bit more of a Lewis Tan fan than you are, but a better actor, undeniably.
Lewis.
Better
I
actor
believe
in
I
Urban
rolled-
to follow.
I looked over at you when Lewis came on the screen and said, he hasn't got any better.
You did, in fact, say that. So yeah, I think it's everything about Urban was just a positive.
It was a good choice, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But for me, I feel like the katana stuff works really well.
Yeah,
And actually gets a little bit of emotion
it does.
out of it.
Yeah, there is.
I mean, I felt a twitch. I felt an eye twitch.
What, where your heart should be?
Yeah. I'll get to it because it's a little bit further down my list. Fucking where my heart should be. It's not like I haven't got a heart, you prick. Like, I'm missing a few things, but not that.
I don't know. You might want to check
some
up on
problems,
that.
Jared, but that's not one of them. Fuck. So things are pretty loose. There's a humour, which I
Yeah.
like. I think you kind of needed it.
Yep.
Because when you got too serious with this shit,
Yeah.
you lost people.
I mean, Adam, I was already laughing when they brought up the 10 tournaments again. I was like, fuck. We do see that we see one 10 feet on a denier and then we're on the verge of another.
Fucking hell. Honest to goodness. You guys have had your ass kicked 9 times.
They're really locked into that, aren't they?
I mean, fuck. Let's bring it down to like 2.
I think I said it last time. I think there's some real kind of mileage to be had from some sort of, Rocky style stories about, the 7th and 8th. When the 7th or 8th wind is about to be locked up and someone's fucking broken it.
I will say this. Sticking to the tournament and that the format of having like the scorecard sort of in the sky
Yeah.
just kept you, you knew what was happening. You
Yeah.
knew where we were going.
Well, see, the fucking scoreboard in the sky, that was one of the things where I was like, oh my God, this is kind of silly. But as the movie went along, I was like, you know what? It's a nice little nod to the old, when you used to play it, you had the energy bars or the rounds.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a simple little way to do that. And I was surprisingly okay with it as it went
I
along.
thought it was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Because at least I knew where things were at.
That's right.
Fucking hell.
So yeah,
Because
after
I've got
every
a- I've
big
got a
blue, you're like, oh
dislike-
yeah,
I've
that's
got a
right. It's
dislike.
fucking 3-2.
I've got a dislike to one of the tournament rules that I was just scratching my fucking head about. Like, which impacts on the scoreboard. So
Yeah.
thankfully the scoreboard was there, so I knew what the fuck was happening.
Yeah.
But fights are most of the fights. I've got one particular character. That's probably not really gonna. That's not really going to adhere itself well to some parts, but most of the fights are choreographed well. They have it down pat.
Yep.
McQuaid seems like a pretty solid director. Knows his way around the action stuff.
Yeah. And they give all of them, like when you get there, they're like, okay, well, this is what people wanted to see. This was some of the feedback is give us the tournament. So they spend plenty of time on each one.
But also, when they want to, they don't want to go to exciting, and I think this will come back into my dislike, but they go to slapstick.
Yeah.
With Johnny Cage.
Yes.
Like his stuff is all sort of kind of slapstick stuff, and his fight with Baraka is he's fucking hopeless.
Yeah,
he's diving around and doing all like
yes, there is a bit of a style to
they smartly
each fighter,
go.
yes.
Not everything needs to be fucking punch, kick, sweep the leg.
Yeah.
So they wisely with Johnny Cage they do something a little different. He's a little bit out of his depth, the big fella. He doesn't quite know what the fuck he's going to do.
Yeah.
He's constantly getting himself in these scrapes where he doesn't. He sort of falls through. He falls over the line.
Yeah.
Type of thing. So I like that. It just mixes things up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
VFX top notch.
They looked
VFX
really
looks good.
I know they looked a little. I know there has been some criticisms that it's well, it's obviously CGI, but it's like, yeah, but you're making backgrounds of like massive portals or fucking acid fucking flowing lakes and shit like
You're
that.
making a Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah,
Like, what the fuck do you
exactly. So
expect?
when I saw everything, I was like, nah, I'm pretty happy with all of it, really.
Oh, I think the VFX look great, and I think they actually make the locations pop a bit to have that little sheen of computer generated stuff on top of it.
You know what it does is it makes it look like the fucking game.
Yes.
Like I remember watching those old games in Mortal Kombat 2 where you would have the Deadpool or whatever, the one with the acid in the lake, and it looked super green. So when I see this and I'm like, it looks just like I would have hoped it would have looked, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
and I think, so as far as production work and things like that goes, like, you know, the money's there. Because this one's a bit more expensive.
yes, they spent a bit more, which I know there was a bit of concern about, well, if they've spent a bit more and the box office isn't much more, then do we get a third one? I actually really hope we do because
I
like
can't
this one a
see
lot.
how we couldn't, considering we got less box office for the first movie, budget to box office.
And the other thing is like sort of, you know, we spoke about how the landscape's kind of changed with, you know, we were talking about something like He-Man. It's like, well, it looks like it's not going to make the money in theaters, but we know how Amazon operates with part of that is now they see it as cost to sell Amazon subscriptions.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is HBO Max a kind of factor with the Mortal Kombat ones that Warner
Maybe.
Brothers is like, well, if we make a decent box office and we at least break even and a little more, then we make the extra on HBO subscriptions
Yeah.
or something like that. I'm kind of hoping that there's a little bit of that so that we do lock in a third one.
Yeah, agreed. I can't see why we won't get a third one. I'd be very surprised if we don't.
I'm hanging for it. I hope we do.
I think it needs to be quick, though. It needs
Yeah.
to be in the next couple of years. We
Why is
can't.
Are you death riding Karl Urban now?
Well, Carl's
You're bagging
older.
me for fucking death riding people.
Carl's
last
older.
week.
I mean, thankfully we won't have to put up with Lewis Tan anymore. But
Oh, jeez.
but you know what I mean. Like it just might just strike. Better to
Yeah,
strike a
yeah.
bit earlier this
Yes.
second time.
And it seems like look,
A 5-year gap between 1 and 2 is too much.
It looks like you're cooking. You're cooking now. You know what we want.
Yeah, let's just do it.
Do it
Dive in
again,
there and
just
do it
like
again.
this. Like while you've got everything sorted. So.
Although you'll be away from the tournament again, and things might get a little bit fucking confusing.
But there might be another tournament.
There might
be another.
be-
There might be another rule that fucking
Immediately
is
another
uncovered
tournament.
in the giant book of rules about.
Yeah,
Mortal
about
Kombat.
fucking bullshit. I like that they could resurrect the dead fighters.
Yes.
That was cool because we were able to bring back Kung Lao.
Yep.
And we were able to throw a little bit of, this and that in there, bringing back fighters when they were resurrected and stuff like that.
And
Some of that was cool.
It allows for. It makes a lot of sense because the game always involved fatalities. So you kind of allow yourself to have the fatalities, but they're like, yeah, well, Kano's back.
We'll bring them back.
And there is particular games where like Kung Lao and Liu Kang and that are zombies. So
it was a nice little nod.
Sort of nod.
And
So-
it actually gave Liu Kang his story arc.
yeah,
Went
he
a
did-
little bit further, that he was going to bring
yes,
Kung
'cause
Lao back.
he was sort of he was one of the characters that kind of got a little bit sidelined in the shuffle, but he
Yeah.
had his own sort of thing to chase through the
Yeah.
small little part that he was on there.
Agreed. The last thing I had, because remember we weren't taking notes. Well, so I've just dashed this off from my brain
Mm-hmm.
yesterday, which we all know is not firing on top fucking cylinders anymore.
Well, sort of as I mentioned before we started recording, Adam, at least you're not fucking falling over just randomly.
No, yeah, just randomly.
Which
but-
is
but-
starting to
So
kick
you know
in
how
now.
they say you one short of a 6-pack?
Yeah.
I've got the 6, but that fucking little plastic ring's missing.
Right.
They're just fucking bouncing around in there.
I think I'm one short and the next one's already been cracked. Like someone's already popped the top on it. I'm sort of there's spillage happening.
Really, you're like 4.5. Is that what you're saying?
I think I'm 4.5, 4.25,
Fucking hell.
somewhere in that range at this point.
The last thing for me is I really like the finale. We got everybody, asses were kicked left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's deep in the action, in the thick of it. And the throwdown between Katana and Shao Kahn was really tidy.
Yes,
And
I love that.
I liked the where they all bow, and she says, "We don't fucking bow to anyone."
Yeah.
You know,
I think
that's where my eye twitched.
well,
I twitched.
your heart kind of
My heart went beating like a
it
jackhammer.
went boom, boom, and you said, "What the fuck's that?" Something happening there.
Oh my God, I'm having a heart attack. It's fucking working.
No, I agree. I think it was very down the line, but it was a little bit like we keep mentioning stuff like Rocky movies. It just put the pieces in play early and delivered the payoff.
Yes.
So I think that's why it had a little hint of that kind of energy about it.
It was very energetic.
Very emotional.
I didn't fucking tear up or anything, but I was close.
Okay, all right.
I've probably got some other things in there, but I couldn't remember them.
I got a few.
Top of my fucking head.
So the big one, which I mentioned earlier, but just sort of summing up in general, they took the fan feedback on board.
Mm-hmm.
So the Arcanas, don't fucking talk about them.
Get rid of that
They need
shit.
to talk about them.
We never
People
saw
just
that
do
they
shit.
had fucking brandings
arms.
on them and silly things like that. Yeah, we got rid of all that.
Yeah, so that was all gone, and it was just the characters that we know. Obviously, there was still a hint of it when Johnny was sort of trying to find his, but we never fucking really spoke about it. We never called it an Arcana. We never.
No, he just sort of found his shit later on.
Yeah. So I thought that worked a lot better. Shao Kahn, I think Martin Ford is really good, but they also didn't make the mistake of let's show him in full regalia and then 2 minutes later have Brian Thompson wandering around without the mask for the next three quarters of the movie. Like he never took the mask off.
No. It's not his voice. Is that correct?
I think it is his voice. I'm pretty sure it was.
I thought it was an Aussie fella. Because I think, is that what they've done? And this is just a slight side note, but is that what they've done with Skeletor in Masters of the Universe? Is Jared Leto's, it's just his voice?
I thought he did all of it, but I could be wrong again.
I don't know.
Adam, as we said, there's a couple of fucking beers missing out of my six pack already. So even if I'd heard
it's just that,
what the case was,
well, I mean, in the trailer, Skeletor looks quite large.
yeah, I think there's a hefty dose of CGI and practical makeup.
So
and stuff
what you're
as well.
saying is he's probably done like a mocap?
Possibly.
Is that-
I think he was there. But yeah, my understanding is that was Martin Ford's voice.
Okay, maybe I got it wrong. Maybe the Aussie guy was a different fella.
The Aussie guy, I remember. So Quan Chi, that was Damon Harriman.
Yeah,
He played the voice of Cabal in the first one.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm getting that all mixed up.
Which might be what you're thinking of, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
I think that's what I was thinking of. I thought he was Shao Kahn. Obviously, I was wrong.
Yeah, but obviously Martin Ford is fucking huge, so it's like, well, there's step one. But if it is his voice, I actually thought he was delivering stuff pretty well too.
Yeah, I thought Shao Kahn being the villain was solid.
Yeah,
solid choice.
Had a little gravitas, but yeah, the design looked pretty good.
Cool.
So that certainly worked out for me. I think this one confirmed for me too that I think I said it last time, but Jessica McNamee is the best Sonya.
Definitely.
By a mile.
Definitely.
And they gave her a bit of a role early of like, almost like Raiden's sort of
right hand. Yeah.
Like she was the one to turn up to Johnny. She was doing a lot of the conversing with Johnny when he was first kind of like, this is. And he has that fucking piss funny line where he walks off and he's like, I'm 90% sure this is like, I'm having an aneurysm and this is some sort of fucking
good luck.
dream. But if not.
Yeah, good luck at that sort of it. He just fucking walks off. Yeah, she's good.
Yeah,
she's really
good. She gets a bit of a chance to kick some ass like everyone does.
Yep. I like that scene too with the fucking things coming up out of the floor.
Pit, yeah,
that was cool.
That was really cool. So I enjoyed that. Kano, they ramp him up from the last one.
But again, nothing changes. Like that's the character we had in the first movie.
And I think it was more like fan feedback. It's like this guy was really good, so we get more of him in this. And it feels like Josh Lawson has been given sort of carte blanche to just
go off.
Just go off and I'm sure what he's saying, like I'm pretty certain not all of it's written.
No. I think he's just sort of improving a fair bit.
But yeah,
and then slipping some of that in.
And the majority of the lines that he pulls out are quite funny. I mean, when he's fucking wandering around with Quan Chi going, "Oi, Pennywise," and all this sort of shit.
Yeah.
What does he call him later? Voldemort's nutsack.
Yeah. Yeah. This guy looks like Voldemort's nutsack.
Yeah, he's on point. He's doing pretty well. I think having the stages from the game, we sort of mentioned it in passing, but fuck, it was just so cool to see. Because, you know, we've now had 3 of these movies and we've had a few points where there's like hints of those things in there. But to see like a stretch in the movie where they've got the Deadpool, they've got the pit, they've got the portal that fucking Liu Kang and Kung Lao are fighting on. I was just like, fuck me, it's so cool to see these things in all their glory, looking like they did in the games. Finally, you know, we've finally got a movie that's gone, let's just put them all in there.
Exactly. So I think from my perspective, like that's where the right people have kind of looked at it and just continued to work, because the same crew basically did the first one. Yeah. They've had time to now go back and go, okay, well, what are the extra bits that we can
That's
add?
right. And that's what I agree with you about the CG, where I think it works, is because all of that stuff looks like it used to.
Exactly how we remember it from the games.
Yep. So that was really cool. The last one for me, I ended up really, really enjoying the Baraka and Johnny Cage connection.
Yeah, that was cool. How he's telling him fucking bullshit stories later on at the end. At the end, he's just grabbing on about how, then I did all this.
Yeah, I took a couple of creative liberties, and then they sort of mentioned, I thought, all right, 3 or 4 creative liberties.
Yeah, is that the good looking woman that you had to save? And he's like, a few creative liberties. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I
it was
did
really
like that.
cool, and I think that was probably my favourite fight sequence, only because, really, like you said, Karl Urban gets to bring a little bit of comedy into it.
Yes, and the whole fight is almost comedic.
Yeah.
But it's different to the other ones, which I liked.
Yes. Yeah, I really enjoyed that sequence, and then the fact that Baraka was like fucking enamoured with the bloke.
Yeah.
After that.
Johnny Cage was king shit.
Yeah, I'm on board, and the fact that they kind of set up that Baraka's on board to fucking help him out with the next part.
Yeah.
Even more reason for me to think,
cool.
I really want the third one now.
Yeah. Dislikes. I don't have a lot, but the fatalities weren't as memorable and the gore wasn't as thick.
No, it was in moments.
But the first movie had more of it.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think you're right.
And I kind of missed a little bit of that. I was a bit disappointed that some of that wasn't more prevalent.
Yeah.
Because, we could have ramped it up another notch.
I mean, it certainly happens in a couple of parts.
I mean, obviously, sawing people's fucking heads into small fucking cubes and shit like that. Yeah, that goes all right. Like, it's all right.
Don't forget a fucking head gets crushed by a hammer.
Fucking hell. So clearly someone had a problem with his acting.
Well, that was another, that was where the feedback came in again.
Cool.
They realised we made a mistake, so let's just put him in the background of a couple of scenes and then, spoiler alert, squash his fucking head with that.
Yeah, see, I thought that was a good move to get rid of him.
I think
because Johnny Cage becomes the avatar for it.
And I believe Lewis Tan has also said he completely understands the direction that they went.
Yeah, of course. Well, you were bringing Johnny Cage in, so there was no room, in my opinion. So you had to get rid of him.
Yeah, and as I said, it just kind of stems from the issue with the first one where you didn't need him in the first place. You got so many characters in this game that you didn't need.
Yeah.
So Johnny Cage sort of steps in and, as I said, goes through a very similar story arc.
Yeah, it's very similar.
So, it was just sort of, thanks for coming, Lewis. Appreciate the efforts. But this is the way it's got to go.
Here's a small paycheck. Now off you go. I know the guy was a necromancer, but fuck, when he first turned around and he had like black eyeshadow and shit, I was like, fuck, he looks like He looks like Marge Simpson when Homer has the makeup gun and it's set to prostitute or whatever.
Yes.
He looked fucking horrible. It took you out of things a little bit.
Yeah, he
For a
certainly
second.
looked like Quan Chi, but I was kind of looking at his head and going, it's a little bit more sort of bulbous.
Yeah, it wasn't a great look. It was the only time where I think the makeup or whatever you want to call it just didn't seem like it was right quite there.
Yeah, I kind of looked at it. I had a similar feeling. I looked at it and I'm like, well, it looks the part. It looks like the games,
Yeah.
but there's something just a little...
It just was a bit off.
Something a little off. And I think it's, they obviously wanted to keep Damon Herriman involved somehow.
Yeah.
And was like, okay, well, we can easily chuck him into that role. And I think as an actor,
He was fine.
perfectly fine
Yeah.
for that role and will do well with it. But yeah, it did look just a little off.
A little weird. Now, I'm probably going to maybe take some shit here, but they choreograph everything well and the slapstick stuff works, but I'm not sure whether I'm reading the right sources, but I don't think Carl's much of a martial artist.
Oh, no, there was
So
definitely...
they were cutting around him significantly.
Well, it's funny because it appears that in the sequence from... Okay, I keep getting it mixed up. Is it Uncaged Fury or is it Caged Fury? In the sequence that they show
Cage Fury
initially with the Rocky Like a Hurricane that then turns out to be playing on his little TV at the fucking convention, which still makes me laugh.
Yeah.
They do it almost as a joke.
Yes.
Like there's one part where he kind of turns around and then you're like, obviously not Karl Urban now.
Yeah.
But then they do it. It seems like they're also doing that very same thing throughout the movie.
Correct.
And it's like, well, it's not kind of as funny now.
It's not that Carl has to be a martial artist.
Look,
no.
The
Carl's
guy's in his
hired-
50s, isn't he?
Carl's in his 50s and he's been hired for his acting,
Correct.
right?
And in that part, he
He's great.
succeeds.
He does exactly what he's supposed to do. But it almost looks like poor editing and poor direction. It does not look good. It doesn't seamlessly fit. And whether or not they were actually pointing it out, showing it as almost like a piss take, I don't know. But definitely in the fight with Katana, that is large portions of it are not him.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And it is obvious.
And they have to shoot from distance or, like they have to take all these different liberties about where the camera is
And
because you're trying to cut around the fact that it's not. the actual
That's right. And you look at it and you're like, there's other people in the movie that are in a similar boat, like a Josh Lawson. Whenever he's fighting, you can't. He's not a character that's in a mask or anything like that. So they must have to do something similar with him, but it doesn't look as obvious. He doesn't fight as much in this one.
Well, look, put it this way. The Sonya Blade stuff, I'm going to assume that Jessica McNamee is not a martial artist either.
No.
But the fights are done, so it's more like close combat,
Yeah.
bashing people against stuff,
Yeah.
using a little bit of gymnastic type of stuff,
And
getting
fighting
people in.
against like a wind machine with Sindel screaming at her.
Correct.
And stuff like that.
But getting people in like leg locks and shit like that.
Yes.
So it's doable.
Yep.
You can actually use the actress to do that.
A little more, yeah.
Yes.
Whereas
here,
Cage is that
He's
sort of
supposed to be doing high
acrobatic style and
it didn't look real good.
There was a couple where I saw a kick and I was like, "Oh, Carl, we're going to cut to someone else."
That's low.
And I feel you, Carl. The hamstrings are probably tight. I get it.
Carl, I can't even put this foot on top of the other one.
Yeah.
I can't put my left foot on top of my right knee
I can't lift my
for
lift
fear
my
that I'll
leg
tear
up
a
high
fucking
enough.
hip flexor.
Yeah, I can't lift my leg up high enough onto like a stool or something to tie my shoe at this point. So I'm not going to give the bloke too hard a time.
Fucking tying my shoes is like some sort of exercising bloody fucking effort. Like I'm in sweat after I tied my shoelaces.
Yeah. And then you need to get the muscle roller out.
Yeah, I better go and roll on it. You kind of have the chance to kill Raiden.
Yeah.
But then you just cut his throat and let him fucking sit there for a while until he just comes back into the equation. it's kind of like, I get it. I know why they're doing it, but it's like, well, don't even have that thing.
Yeah, well, even if you don't get him that time and you get cast out of the temple or whatever, you're like, right, he's under the pump. We've got to organise another attack very soon or something. Whereas, I get it. And it feels like a product of sort of stuffing so many fights and stuff in. It's like, we've got to get here. Isn't there one point where there's like 3 fights going on at one time? So it's kind of like cutting one to the other.
Yes. And again, I'm not against that because the fights are what we're there for.
Yeah. So it sort of feels like, to me, it's supposed to be a little bit, the time isn't supposed to feel as long as it does.
Yes.
It's supposed to be a bit of a shorter time and we're just bouncing around from one thing to the next, but it does feel like a long time that he's recovering.
Well, it's like 45 minutes or something, isn't it? Because he's out of action for a while.
Yeah, it's a large chunk of the movie, that's for sure.
And then,
I mean, I did kind of like that they snuck something like that in. You always knew it was going to happen, that it was going to be something outside the tournament that they were going to have to resolve to kind of stand a chance or something. But yeah, I definitely agree.
The last one for me is the medallion as well. I mean, it will give us unlimited power, they tell us. So they get Raiden's powers, they put it in the medallion, they imprint it on him, on Shao Kahn. I mean, the guy should be cutting a swath.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
But there's rules, Adam.
Yeah,
you can only fight one after the other, even though we've just broken all the rules to make him immortal.
The rules left and right.
What the fuck are the Elder Gods doing? You guys are supposed to be watching this,
they're
aren't
like
you?
a really bad board that doesn't meet
They are. They give you the old, we'll definitely look into that one.
They're a fucking body corporate, Jared.
Where are you guys? You're supposed to be able to see this.
They're a body corporate of an apartment block, basically.
Yeah.
So none of that, everything, and then they take that power away quite easily.
Yeah.
Which it's just a product of like trying to wrap things up and find a kind of a MacGuffin that you've got to have.
Trying to complicate it a little more.
Yeah, so it's not just punch-ons and that's about it.
Which I liked when they're in hell, basically, or the nether realm, which you were teetering at. Where you keep talking about the nether, you keep thinking it's the nether regions.
We must get back to the nether regions. Fucking hell. A bit funny.
So I did sort of like that that's where that ended up. But yes, it doesn't feel like there's ever any real danger through that happening.
No.
Except for Cole Young.
Yeah, well, that was for other reasons.
Yeah, correct.
The last one for me, Jared, is I don't understand when we are having Mortal Kombat. It's fucking Mortal Kombat, Jared. They even explain it. Mortal Kombat means you're going to die. You're likely to die.
Yeah.
But yet, we don't have to kill them? During a fight, we don't have to kill them?
Well, I didn't sort of bump into that so much because it felt like the games.
Can that happen in the games?
Well, the games always come to finish him, and then you had to be able to do the move combination to do the fatality. So it was a sort of easy way to explain, if you were a fucking Neville at the game like I was, you'd get to finish him and you're pressing 14 buttons and nothing's happens happening. And the person just falls
over. And it was a convenient way to have like Johnny Cage not killed.
Yes.
Initially.
So it works for that purpose, but then it also works from the sense of that's the way it would happen in the games. You would get the opportunity. And just like Shao Kahn says, finish him. She chooses not to. In the game, it's more, well, fuck, I didn't get the button combination or I don't know how to do it, which was usually the case for me. So when I was able to uppercut someone's head off, I was fucking loving life. But at this, to me, it's just like, it's a little nod to this is how it used to play out in the games. It's a story reason to do it. So it's sort of fit for that reason.
Okay. I just didn't quite understand that.
It certainly did result in a little less of the stuff like you said, that it feels like the first one might have a bit more of that.
I would agree. And maybe that's why. A couple of people, we don't kill them.
Yeah. And for very good reason. As we
find out with Katana, you couldn't really have Katana and Johnny killing each other.
Yeah.
That would have fucked everything else up.
Yeah.
That was it for me.
I had a couple. I had... so because we did stuff it with a bunch of characters, which I love, the more Mortal Kombat characters that I can see each movie,
more the merrier.
The more the merrier. Naturally, that's going to push a few people out of the spotlight a bit. So Liu Kang gets sort of shafted a little bit.
Yeah, he does get short shrift, doesn't he?
Considering, the first movie sort of follows or seems to be following the first game, where in canon, when Mortal Kombat 2 came out, the start of that was that Liu Kang had won the tournament. So it's like, okay, well, it seems to be sort of following that, but then it kind of very quickly goes to, something completely different, which is, again, it's all stuff that has happened in the games, but it sort of just feels a little bit like it's coming out of nowhere on this one.
Into a bit of a side play.
Correct. Same happens to me for Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
He plays a very small role.
Yes.
It feels to me like... So Quan Chi also has a relatively small part to play in terms of he's just sort of bringing people back. But it feels to me like perhaps they're setting up that in part 3 it'll be the Deadly Alliance, Shang Tsung and Quan Chi, which I could see playing out, but then in making Shao Kahn the big bad in this one, it just sort of pushes Shang Tsung completely to the side. He barely does anything other than, as you mentioned, he has the part with Raiden, but he's barely cited in between those two sort of
moments, parts
of that story. It's a similar problem with the story in that all you get so many fights and you get everything that we wanted, right? But in the trade-off to that deal of saying, yes, we accept that, it just means the story is kind of rushed and
second fiddle.
Yeah, so we've got Cage's story, but then we've got the Adenia story, and they're both given time, but it's kind of just like, all right, when we do get that story, it's got to be short and sharp. We're
not going to spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah, we've got to just be mumbling out the fucking exposition. We've got to be doing this and that. And there was a couple of lines where we kind of giggled at how sort of on the nose it felt, but as I said, that was the trade-off, and I'll take that if the rest of the action and stuff is...
it's a minor dislike if it's anything.
Yep.
It didn't impact on enjoyment.
Yeah, it's just the fact that the stuff that we wanted to see doesn't leave a lot of room around it.
Yes.
Caveat to the finale. I know you enjoyed the finale.
I did enjoy the finale.
The caveat for me is that it just continues this run of Sonya just getting sidelined in crucial moments.
Yes.
She feels rather important through the run of it.
Yeah.
Then gets one sort of fight and then is involved in the whole, we need to get the amulet back.
Yeah.
But then it's like, all right, well, we're going to insert you into the showdown at the end. And then it's just like, oh, well, fucking you get
just got
whacked with
a couple of times.
Yeah, whacked with a hammer. I mean, she does do a very crucial part to the story, and it's her that frees Katana.
Yes.
But it's kind of like, all right, once you've done that, just lay in the corner.
Yeah, just fucking toddle off.
And it's kind of disappointing because I've really enjoyed what they've done with Sonya otherwise.
Yeah.
But it happened in the 95 one. Now it's happened here.
And we also sidelined Jax.
Yeah, well, he got
barely saw the guy.
Permanently sidelined, didn't he?
Yeah. But really, it was some very minor.
Yeah. He basically had his fight, and then other than that, he was a bit of a cheerleader. He was a bit of...
That's it, yeah, basically.
Which, as I said, I actually really enjoyed Mehcad Brooks in that role. I thought he fit, and even more in this one. He looks like he's sort of a little more jacked up in this one. So, yeah, that was a slightly disappointing.
Yeah.
The last one for me, and it comes on the back again of something that I did like. You mentioned the Resurrections.
Yes.
The Resurrections feel like they're allowing some story things in the games to come in, like the zombie Liu Kang, zombie Kung Lao, and another way to work around, we can make it like the games where you kill someone but then you see them again. But I feel like the downside to that is, are we going to get used to, someone's dead, but they're not really dead. Kind of like the whole comic books, you know, someone died, but they'll just be back in the next. It feels like maybe in part 3, we can expect to see some people that have been killed off.
Yes.
And it's sort of like, all right, well, that sort of lowers the stakes to it all.
I would agree. And that's definitely the negative to that.
That's one of my little concerns about it is that, like, all right, well, we know that person got killed, but let's just fucking use the story that we've set up to be able to say, well, that person can come back.
Yeah. Agreed. That was it.
Mostly very happy with things.
I was very high on it. Enjoyed it a lot.
So you're thinking that we get a 3 for sure?
Yes, for sure. I think it'll make a little bit more money, box office wise. Probably end up topping out at maybe 150. I'd say 150 on a $68 million budget. You're probably saying that's a profit of 30 to 40. That's perfectly fine, perfectly serviceable. Get it on the streaming packages. Try and sort of get some more revenue out of it from that angle. So I think we'll see a 3rd. But it'll have to be soon, in my opinion. And it feels
like, there's always some merchandising opportunities with Mortal Kombat.
Absolutely. But I think you've got to do it in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Strike while the iron's hot and get this done.
Probably even a little quicker than between 1 and 2, depending on...
It was 5 years between 1 and 2.
Yeah. So I reckon
that's a lot,
we can hopefully sort of whip it together and get something of a similar vein reasonably quickly.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think it seems like perhaps the plan is just to do the 3 in this particular sort of run of them.
Yeah. I think you need the 3rd to just round it out. We need to get any questions answered that may have come up in the first 2 in the 3rd. Okay? Yeah. So I think it'll be worthwhile if they gave it a go.
Yeah.
All right, that was Mortal Kombat 2. You can find us on iTunes, Podomatic, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcasts. Send us an email at thrillme@iinet.net.au. Like us on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia and on Podomatic at thrillme.podomatic.com. We're also on Instagram at thrillmepodcastau. Keep an eye on the Facebook page to see what we cover as our next movie. But until then, everyone, take it easy and we'll catch you all later. Cheers. Find the podcast at Podomatic or on iTunes. Don't forget to rate and review. Like us on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia or contact us at thrillme, all one word, all lowercase, at iinet.net.au.